To be honest, the greatest thing to learn how to cook is to dumpster. Because you get so many different ingredients that you kind of have to learn how to cook.
I'm Nobbs, I'm 24. Well, I've been living here on and off for 3 years now. It's a pretty sweet little hole. My love for dumpstering probably started at primary school when I used to hang out with the janitor quite a bit. When he was actually quite a good guy. We used to go out for lunch and he'd be like, "All right, we're gonna go empty the bins." And there's this one kid who always threw out his lunch, and so I used to eat a lot of his lunch.
So the bins out here are quite hit and miss, because it's far out from town. It's usually quite good, and you've got less problem with security and cops and stuff like that. But it's a catch-22 because you have to spend money and gas to get there.
I enjoy hunting and fishing. It's probably my bigger passions than playing music. I am studying for a bachelor's in engineering, and I sell firearms and ammunitions for a living, which is pretty sweet. I'd probably dumpster dive for a numerous amount of reasons. I think food is always a big one, and it's just general waste. Like, I'm also an opportunist dumpster. A lot of materials in this very room have come out of skips, and a lot of other things, including me and two friends in Auckland, started an op shop based out of 90% of the stuff we found in bins, which I thought was really cool. You're always shocked at what you find. Like, I think one time we were going through one bin and we found like a brand new washing machine that had just been a shop model, you know. It was like, what? This is hundreds and hundreds of dollars, you know. You find everything, which is actually kind of cool because you can kind of go shopping in a way. You can go, you know, if I want snack food, I'll go to this bin. You know, if I want, you know, meat, I'll go to this bin. If I want vegetables, I'll go to this bin. So it's quite cool, and we always make up an imaginary shopping list before we go. We're like, all right, what do I need? Oh, I want eggs, I want bacon, I want this. You usually find it if you look hard enough. Yeah, so I think I mainly dumpster dive just for the usefulness of it, and politically and economically and environmentally, why wouldn't you?
All right. This one's really hit and miss. This one's usually awesome or crap. But usually get biscuits from here, which is pretty cool. I like biscuits. Biggies.
I think people have a tendency, when they go to the supermarket, they'll always pick the beautiful shiny apple rather than the beautiful shiny apple with a little spot. So the beautiful shiny apple with a little spot, that's the kind of food that comes to us. 60% of the food that we rescue and redistribute is fruit and vegetable, so fresh produce. Around about 20% is breadstuffs, and then there's a whole range of other stuff that come through: bakery goods, sandwiches, ready meals. I still feel that there's real issues of food waste being discarded where needlessly. I mean, we do what we can from the part of a small organisation, but we're still very constrained by the amount of food that we can rescue and redistribute, and we reckon we're just scratching the surface.
Yeah, there's definitely a really good etiquette with dumpster diving. You always try to leave it better than it was, and you always try to get in and out and leave it clean. Don't cause anyone hassle. You know, the last thing I want is some poor guy losing his job because he let us into the bins. You know.
We once filled up my mate's whole car with microwave dinners that were still frozen. His whole entire car. We stocked up my freezer and 6 other friends' freezers in Wellington, and we still had them left over. Need to watch out for glass. Glass is probably the big one. In terms of what to wear, I know some people can go quite over the top. I just tend to wear, you know, good sturdy boots. And just pay attention to what you're doing and you'll be fine.
We're just going to fit you with a GoPro. How does that feel? All good?
Yeah.
Looks stunning.
Cool. Should we do this?
Sweet.
I think it's rather a shame that New Zealand has the clean green image, and that retailers and just everybody in general wastes and throws out so much. It's almost lying, theoretically, when you put out this image that you're clean, you're green, but you can't even do your recycling, you know?
Fresh herbs, anybody?
The hardest thing is to work out how much to take, because you feel so bad that it's all going to go to waste. So you can only physically eat so much. It's actually kind of funny how economically you find things. Like as the price of milk, butter, meat went up, you found more and more. And like cheese, the price of cheese is ridiculous, and you always find cheese in ridiculous amounts. I've often met security guards at the bins. I've had some just go, all right, take what you've got and go, and some go, just don't leave a mess. And then I've had others try to chase me down the street.
I think there's probably a lack of awareness on the volumes of food, or the level of needless food waste that's out there. And I think there's also a lack of solutions. So I think that people may be aware of it, but they don't actually realise that there are solutions to ensuring that this food isn't wasted and reaches people that need it most. And I think that organisations like Kaibosh or other food rescue organisations are that kind of solution.
Yeah, I think one of the hardest hitting things that I saw when I was out dumpstering is I actually met a really nice guy at the bin, and we had already hit another bin, so we gave him some of the stuff that we found at the other bin, because the one we got to didn't actually have much in it. And he had just put his kids to bed, and he was coming out to get food for them the next day for them to take to school, which, you know, it's not just a thing of that's cool to find and have and use, but it's also needed by certain parts of society that, you know, that people think are just dropouts and generics, but they're not. They're actually working hard for their family, and it's a shame that that's what they have to do. They have to go and do something that's theoretically illegal to put food on the table for their kids.
People have issues about, you know, that you have to, everyone should pay their way, or you should pay for this, or, but hey, if you can get by and you can live off, you know, others' surpluses, why not? You know, it's sort of it seems just common sense to me as well. So
Makes you think that there definitely is a better way of doing things, where you look at the rescue food services that, you know, all of this was missed, and this was just a tiny fraction of what really gets thrown out, and there must be a better way to get it to people who actually need it. You know, it doesn't come down to money, it comes down to looking after your fellow human.